Hello and welcome. Kira here from Healing Humanity, the Power of a Proper Human Diet. And today we have our Thursday night Carnivore Questions Q&A. We're going to be doing some giveaways. We have an amazing, incredible panel for you here tonight to answer all of your questions. And before we say hi to the panel, just to get things rolling, because we ran out of time last week, start posting your questions right now, if you will. Post your best question with hashtag ribeye. Hashtag ribeye, and we're going to be giving away a Healing Humanity shirt in color blue. You can either post your best question with hashtag ribeye or your testimony of healing with hashtag ribeye. And in order to win, you must also be sure that you are following each of the individuals you see here on the screen. Dr. Nelson, Ashley, Carnivore Today, Adam, No Carb Barb, and Midlife Carnivore Lynn. I have links in the description below. It takes 2 seconds to click each of those and follow. Dr. Nelson, Adam, Lynn, Barb, Ashley, how's it going?
Fantastic, brother.
Great.
Doing great.
Awesome.
It is good to see you all today. We were just talking, and today is a special day because we're carnivore. We're all here together to answer your questions. And it is the amazing Dr. Kiltz's 70th birthday today.
Woohoo!
Should we say hi to Dr. Kiltz real quick? He loves it when I do this.
Happy birthday, Dr. Kiltz.
Happy birthday.
Happy
Lots of love.
birthday.
Dr. Kiltz, we got a quick little satellite of Dr. Kiltz. I believe he was a toddler. It was his birthday, though. Here we go, real quick.
But I tell you, when I went carnivore nearly 15 years ago, and I'm going to be 70 next year, and I've never felt better. All the drugs, doctors, and dissections gone. Yeah.
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 I am very immature, but that cracks me up every single time. We love you, Dr. Kiltz. We hope you had a good birthday. Actually, not to name drop, but I sent him a big happy birthday, and he just texted me a couple minutes ago. So huge thank you to Dr. Kiltz. He's incredible. Before we jump into your
He's
question,
having a party right now, by the way.
is he partying right now?
He's having a birthday party, yes.
Stop the live stream. Let's go.
No birthday cake, just Kiltz ice cream for the celebration tonight.
Do you have a live feed? We could just like crash the party.
You can call him.
Oh, you should. That'd be funny.
All right. So before we jump into the questions, Ashley, do we have any big events coming up?
We got one major event coming up. I'm telling you, it's exciting. It's coming up quick too. It's crazy. The 1st of May is going to be here before we know it. Like, it's nuts that we're already almost midway through March. It's just, these months are flying. But Meat Stock 2026 coming up May 1st through 3rd. It's going to be epic. And I know there are still some tickets left for the convention on the 2nd and 3rd. Incredible lineup of speakers. If you have carnivore questions or you just want to meet your favorites of any of the influencers online, they're all going to be there. So this is the place to go. This is the place to be. And hoping there'll be some other really cool announcements coming soon. But I'm telling you, this is going to be an incredible event. So make sure you get your tickets before they sell out.
Meatstockconvention.com. And yeah, don't procrastinate. Those are going to go quick. And one other quick announcement, Adam, Barb, myself, we're going to be going to watch the Cholesterol Code in Schaumburg, Illinois, Monday, April 13th. If you'd like to join us there, I don't think I have that link in the description, but if you just Google Cholesterol Code Schaumburg, Illinois, you'll be able to find that. You do have to reserve your ticket online, and there's other showings going on around the country for the Cholesterol Code. Looking forward to watching that. Come join us out there too if you're in the area. All right, should we jump into some questions?
Sure.
All right, let's see what we got. We got a couple new members here. Jackie Smith, welcome. Rapaya, welcome. One Paran something, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. All right, we've got Bride Biscuit, hashtag ribeye, healed 8 diseases through carnivore. Let's go, and happy birthday, Dr. Kiltz.
Awesome.
Way to go.
8 diseases.
8
Wow.
diseases.
Wow.
I mean, how often do you hear that? Healed 8 diseases.
Well, you know what that tells me, though, is that there is an underlying root cause to all of them that most doctors are missing. I would be surprised if this person went to quite a few different doctors to get different treatments for these diseases. Some of them maybe by the GP, but there might have been specialists, and it's amazing. One underlying thing you can address, and they all go away.
That is one of the big takeaways I learned while filming the documentary. Not to do a shameless plug, but we're going to be making announcements pretty soon about when and where you can watch the documentary. Everyone's been asking me that, but that was one of the big takeaways. We had 9 doctors and experts in the documentary, and by the time I got done interviewing all of them, I'm like, wait a minute, they're all saying the same message. Fix your metabolic health if you want to heal type 2 diabetes. Fix your metabolic health for fertility issues. Fix your metabolic health for heart disease. It's all the same thing, right? Just fix your metabolic health, which is pretty incredible. All right, we've got a question from Sheila. Hashtag ribeye. My doctor is concerned with my fluctuating blood sugar readings. They go high 250-ish, then crash 59. If I go strict carnivore, will it level out? What do you think, Dr. Nelson?
I think yes. Now we have a lot of information we don't have here. Are you using medications? Are you doing any specific diet? Because you're asking if I go strict carnivore, so I don't know what you're eating right now, but I think so. The short answer is I think it will.
All right. And here's one for Adam from Uncle Charlie. Hashtag ribeye. I was 325 pounds, now 180. A1C 18, now 5. Doctor said I will be on insulin and metformin the rest of my life. Fatty liver, kidney, heart, pancreas didn't work. She was wrong. So I don't know if that was a question or a comment, but you got
I love that this was for me because
There you go.
that is freaking awesome. Uncle
Easy
Charles.
answer.
I love it.
Fantastic.
Adam's like, I agree.
Adam,
Adam, do you
A1C
concur?
was 18. That's insane.
Yeah, that's really high.
That's really high.
All right, we got Paula, help. Lynn, what do you think about this one? I am dizzy, not electrolytes, was treated for ear crystals, no help. Is this normal on carnivore 76 days in?
So if this was my patient and I was going to do a nursing assessment, I would want to make sure that I understood what dizzy means to her, because in my experience, that is a common phrase and it can be used to mean either lightheadedness from some people. Some people use it to describe vertigo. So and that could completely change the answer. So would want to know, is the room spinning? Now, if you've been treated for ear crystals, it makes me think that maybe it's vertigo, because that's more of an ear issue. But if it's lightheadedness, then that's a completely different issue. So I would definitely want to make sure no electrolytes is that. Hopefully that means you've had electrolytes tested. But I would want to know also, are you on medication? And so 76 days in, how are you checking your blood pressure? Are you making sure, if you're on medication, that you're working with your doctor? And is your blood pressure getting too low? So there's definitely a lot of things. I would say, no, it's not normal to be dizzy 76 days in. So I don't know. I mean, and this is kind of a medical doctor thing. So with that said, I'd probably want to punt a little bit to Dr. Nelson and see if he has anything additional to add.
Well, 76 days is not that long. It's 2.5 months. And you asked all the right questions. Mm-hmm. Lynn is always right. But we don't know, for example, the medications that she's taking. It took me, once I went carnivore, it took me 7-8 months to taper off completely of blood pressure medications. And all along, my sign that maybe I needed to recheck it and drop down was always dizziness, because I even passed out the day after the last dose I had from my blood pressure being too low. So yes, medications are important. It's not only the medications for the blood pressure, but other medications for other conditions, which we don't know the information. But if it is the ears, and sometimes
She
you have
said
to understand.
real quick. She said yes, vertigo in the comments.
Okay, thanks for clarifying.
Okay, and sometimes we might do that determination lightly without just taking a history. Fortunately, if you were probably prescribed meclizine, I'm going to take a wild guess, and meclizine is a medication without much really side effects. And recently, I found out that it helps people with chronic pain, which is it's not even indicated for or anything like that. But I would expect things to just get better, yes. But sometimes when we have chronic problems, they take a long time to go away.
Yeah, and I know I found out that I had a vestibular conduction disorder. I had the dizziness, and it wasn't vertigo, but it was close. And I went to see, and they gave me meclizine, and it didn't do anything. And so I went to see an audiologist and found out I have a vestibular conduction disorder. But I don't know if if this problem has arisen since she went carnivore, or if this was a pre-existing issue as well. So that kind of factors into how we would, kind of assess the situation as well.
All right. Speaking of vertigo and dizziness, Nancy Chandler said, bet Kiltsy is celebrating with a dirty martini. No.
And probably a cigar and some ice cream. Call the carnivore police.
All right. Question for Barb. I've recently added sardines into my way of eating. How many times per week are most beneficial? And I guess for the whole panel, has anyone done a sardine fast? I have not.
I haven't.
No, I have not.
Well, you asked the right person. So yes, I have, and actually am currently doing one now. The number of times that are most beneficial really depends on you and how you feel. There's record of someone doing a 180-day sardine fast. I could not imagine that. I know Jenny Middich has done several 14-day, 21-day. Typically, a 72-hour sardine fast is probably long enough. But if you enjoy sardines and you like the way they make you feel, then just incorporating them into your regular carnivore diet, maybe have them for lunch one day, or some people, and I know they're going to balk at this, but they'll have a steak and sardines on the side. So I know some people feel that they're bait, but they are actually incredibly high in omega-3s. They've got lots of calcium. They're very nutrient dense. So if you can stand to eat them, which I know a lot of carnivores don't care for them, I think they're a great option.
I get banned to the outdoors if I try to eat sardines because my pregnant daughter gets nauseated at the smell.
Can you eat sardines, Lynn?
I was worried because of the histamine issues.
Yeah.
And I never tried the sardine fast, but I have been able to tolerate one can a day. I haven't pushed it beyond that. And so I did one can a day for about 5 days, and I did okay. But this
I did a 3-day sardine challenge, because you're not fasting if you're eating sardines, but that's another topic. And I had 4 cans the first day, 2 cans the second day, 1 can the third day, and it took me a year to eat sardines again.
Well, I have to comment that you are doing a sardine fast if you're Adam, because I guarantee on a sardine fast, he would eat nothing for 3 days.
That's right. Bingo.
That's like a hack to get yourself to fast.
That's right.
All right. Question for Ashley. Ashley, what do you think on this one? How long should you be on carnivore diet before you start seeing bigger changes in yourself?
Oh, that's a great question. And hard one to answer because everybody honestly is just so different. Because everybody starts in so many different places, So I will say that I would say most people start noticeably seeing differences in the way they feel, probably within 3 or 4 weeks. That's a very common number that I've seen. And as far as physical changes, some and probably more so on the male side start seeing it pretty quickly on the scale. And again, it just depends on what you're trying to heal. I will say on the other side of that, sometimes it takes people a long time because they don't necessarily see in their body or whatever. That's why I know one of the common things we like to ask people to do is take measurements, because you may not see it on the scale if you're doing it for weight loss, but you see it in the way your clothes fit or the way you measured yourself, and you start seeing some inches lose and your body kind of changing a little bit there. But yeah, honestly, sometimes it can be a while, but hopefully at least the feeling, the energy, you'll start feeling a big difference within 3-4 weeks. I think that's a pretty good marker for you. Don't give up if you don't. Keep going, because it will happen.
Yeah.
That's a great answer, Ashley. I did want to point out that their channel name is My Journey to Be Seizure Free. So
I
one
noticed
thing
that.
that we're all learning in our training recently is if you are doing it for that, you may have to go 90+% of your diet in fat. And you may potentially need to do it longer as well when you're dealing with neurological issues. So I don't know if that was a general bigger changes you're talking about or specifically for seizures, but I would probably try to work with a metabolic health coach to kind of work you through some of these things as well, if that's what you're dealing with.
Yeah, I noticed that too, and I'm glad you
Great
brought
observation.
that up. Yeah, and I wanted to clarify too, when we say 90%, we mean calories, not volume.
Right.
Yeah.
I have a friend and a guy I met at one of our early DFW meetups, who actually also does some coaching, but he's specifically got into carnivore because of his seizures. And he like you said, Adam, it took a while, took a high fat to try and see the difference. But he's been seizure free now, I think 7 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's awesome.
All right, we've got a question for Dr. Nelson. Day 58 carnivore, 2 years post chemo and immunotherapy for breast cancer. Lasting side effects were fatigue and diarrhea. Both are improving. The chemo-induced neuropathy is worse. Any ideas? Thank you.
Yeah, chemotherapy-induced neuropathy is damage from the medications to your nerves, and it can happens frequently. It's not a reason not to do chemotherapy, because I wouldn't tell anyone not to do chemotherapy with their cancer. But I wonder if you have incorporated fasting on a regular basis into your diet. If you're 50 days carnivore, so your cancer episode was 2 years ago. I do have a history of something like that happened to me. It's been now 2.5 years, and I did a lot of fasting and strict protocol around the times of treatments. So all I can say right now, just keep doing a carnivore diet, a low fat or a low carb, high fat diet will help heal. One of the tissues that may take the longest is any brain or nerve tissue. So I was noticing my neuropathy being better, and I've been 987 days carnivore. I think Bella said several months ago that she sees even changes 6-7 years after being carnivore. So congratulations. Keep going.
All right, good stuff. All right, we have a question for Adam from Julie Smith about sodium. Can you talk about sodium? I had symptoms of fatigue, headache before I realized I needed more than 400 mg daily on a no-carb diet. Heartburn gone, better sleep, more energy 90 days in.
Yeah, so this is pretty typical for most people, and our bodies can become accustomed to the high amounts of sodium that's in a standard American diet because they fortify a lot of these foods with salt to make them more palatable so that you purchase more of these foods. So when you go on a no-carb diet, your body can have a hard time extracting the sodium that's naturally in the foods that you're eating. So it's a really good idea to supplement with sodium so that you're not getting into these issues with fatigue, headache, dizziness, and potentially the keto flu early on. So yeah, I'd say this is pretty standard, and it's good. I'm glad that you're actually feeling better. You got better sleep, and you're having more energy. So let this be a lesson to everyone else that sodium is absolutely an essential mineral for human health.
Good quality sodium, of course.
Link in the description. Ashley's got it.
There's a lot out there nowadays about, so because even the sea salts that are out there's a lot of people talking about the quality of the various sea salts that we've been using forever as carnivores. So it can be confusing as far as what to get. But a lot of people will say, and people that are, knowledgeable about carnivore will recommend even 5,000 milligrams a day of sodium.
Well, most people on a very low carbohydrate diet or carnivore diets end up somewhere between 5,000 and 7,000 milligrams per day.
Mm-hmm.
There are people like Dave Feldman who use huge amounts higher than that. And I know for a time, Adam was without adding salt, and some people don't add salt. So yes, it varies. But a lot of people end up at 5,000 to 7,000 milligrams per day. I'm not giving that as a number you must hit.
Yeah.
Your number might be different than me.
Yeah. I think Eric is 5,000 pounds.
It's a new habit to form. We have to actually purposefully add salt where we were getting it, like Adam said, in our processed food before. So it's just a new habit to be aware. For anyone who's brand new, you got to add the salt.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to take a couple more questions, and then we're going to do our first drawing of the night for Healing Humanity shirt. Get your questions in there with hashtag ribeye or your testimony. Here's a question for Lynn from Alicia. Red meat and eggs have been making me feel sick a few hours after eating. Could I be having a histamine intolerance?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So
I'm glad you didn't stop at that. Mm-hmm.
Okay, next question.
Yep.
Oh, histamine intolerance is no fun, no laughing matter. So I completely understand. But yes, so a lot of people don't necessarily realize that they may develop some histamine intolerance when you switch to carnivore, because we tend to be eating a lot more, particularly eggs. Egg whites are high histamine, and the meat, you got to be really careful if you're eating aged meat or if you're eating leftovers. You mentioned red meat, so I would definitely find out, are you eating ground beef? That has higher histamine. The cooking method, slower cooking, can bring out more histamine. So the best thing to do is to do an experiment to find out whether or not your symptoms go away. Maybe stick with egg yolks instead of the whole egg. Make sure your meat is really fresh. If you're going to continue to do red meat or do ruminant meat, try some lamb. If you are struggling with lamb, I combine lamb and beef, that kind of helps. But lamb is not hung. So when they butcher the animal, they hang the meat, and beef does have to be hung for a period of time. Lamb does not. And so the hang time can influence whether or not it's going to cause a histamine reaction. And so if you find that you're struggling with all beef, you may need to go with someplace like Billy Doe Meats where they don't hang at all in order, but call your local rancher, inquire and find out, how long do you hang your meat. I found that I can handle about 10 days worth of hanging and I'm okay. So it's a matter of experimenting. And if you respond to antihistamines like an H1 or H2 blocker, that could also confirm that it's a histamine issue.
And I would probably just stop the eggs altogether, try just the red meat, see if you're still having symptoms. If you're not, then you can try just the yolk on the egg and see if that gives you a symptom, like Lynn was saying, and take it.
If you have access to quail eggs are low histamine. Not everyone has access to quail eggs, and you have to like to crack a ton of eggs because they're tiny.
Can you just do one ostrich egg instead?
I haven't researched the histamine in ostrich eggs, but that would be awesome.
All right, question for Barb. We started Carnivore to help heal nerve damage that causes difficulty walking. Has anyone heard of someone improving by regrouping nerve connections, considering stem cell treatments?
Yes, there are several people in the carnivore community that have experienced nerve healing, both from MS. I know Diane Ladd, Boston Carnivore, Mimi, who's in the documentary. Also, Renee Shove has a different condition. It's not MS. It's a very long name, but she has healed her nerve condition and she couldn't walk. So her channel, Eating Meat to Walk, is great. In fact, I have an interview with her coming out tomorrow. So yes, I definitely think that healing nerve damage is possible with carnivore.
And there's a link for Barb's YouTube channel in the description. Check that interview out with Renee. Her story is incredible. CIPD she was suffering with. All right, we're going to do a drawing in just a minute, but one more question for Ashley. Where do you get Salter? I can't find it.
In their website?
You're muted.
I said, well, I carry my handy dandy Salter around with me for my Healing Humanity keychain, and this soon to be very available on our website, Adam. But we can get the details worked out there. Adam, what is Salter's website? Do you know it off the top of your head?
Yeah, it's Live Salter.
Live.
So it's LiveSaltr.com. And yes, we are partial to that salt. One, because it's super, super clean, very low in heavy metal toxicity. Or heavy metals, I should say. But also Scott, the owner, he's a carnivore. He's a super great guy. And he's developed his product based on what he would purchase, being sensitive to a lot of different foods. So he wanted the very best salt in his product, and that's what he's done. He's a big supporter of the documentary. He also runs Meat Stock. So, he's not just a business guy. He's in the community. He's in the trenches trying to help everybody. So that's one of the reasons why we support him and his company, as well as it being a phenomenal product. And the electrolyte salt that Ashley has right there, that stuff is like crack. It's sea salt with potassium and magnesium added to it, and it just gives it this sort of like a little tangy little bite to it. It's hard to describe. You just have to buy
but it is a good bite.
Yes, it is.
It is.
It is. It's delicious.
Good stuff. So livesalter.com. All right, we're going to do our first drawing for a Healing Humanity shirt in color blue. Drum roll, please.
Don't have one.
All right, the winner of a Healing Humanity shirt in color blue is Steadfast 20-4-26. Adam, how can Steadfast 20-4-26 claim their prize?
Well, I'm going to abbreviate this. Steadfast can go to healinghumanity.movie/giveaway, fill out the form, and Ashley will send you your prize. Congratulations.
All right, congratulations. And we're going to do one more giveaway. I just got to get it ready. There we go. we're going to give away a 30-day membership, free membership to healinghumanity.life. So post your best question with hashtag life, L-I-F-E, or your testimony of healing. We do 12 Zoom calls per week. We have a doctor expert on Wednesday, Inspire Together Thursday, Q&A on Tuesday. We're here to help you on your path to healing. We have courses. It's a whole social media site to help you. If you don't win this, you can currently get 50% off your membership using the promo code in the description below. All right, our next question. This one is for Dr. Nelson from our friend Nancy Chandler. My girlfriend struggles with high blood pressure and is currently experiencing leg and arm cramps. I bought her LMNT, but she's concerned about the sodium content. Any suggestions?
She didn't mention what her friend's diet is, and I think it would matter, but I wouldn't worry about the sodium content. Now, people who are experiencing high blood pressure, about 20% of them are very sodium sensitive. If you are one of those people, you may need to be on a low carbohydrate, high fat diet for a while before being able to get off medications and improve. LMNT has 1,000 milligrams per one of those little stick envelopes. Okay. 200 of potassium, I think 50 of magnesium is, I believe, is their formula. But less carbs, if she's eating carbs, definitely will help. And of course, it's not only a sodium, it's the potassium, it's the magnesium. I take magnesium separately because I take magnesium a few times a day.
Would magnesium glycinate maybe at bedtime be helpful for the leg cramps?
That's what I take, magnesium glycinate. And I take one in the morning, one in the evening. Plus, sometimes I do Salter electrolytes because Kill's Health electrolytes are out of stock right now. So yes, the answer is you probably need electrolytes, but I understand some people, we don't want to be dogmatic here. Oh, the salt doesn't matter. About 20% of people that have hypertension might be sensitive to sodium, and they may need to control the amount of sodium. I used to be like that. So when I changed my diet, now I put more salt than my wife, who used to be the big salter in the house. So things can change, definitely.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Nelson. Question for Adam from Amanda. What is the best way to get collagen in my diet to help with my Ehlers-Danlos? Also, what's the best way to cook and eat beef shanks? Looking for any Ehlers-Danlos advice. All I eat is, I can't really see those little icons on my screen. They look like a clown face. Butter,
it's
salt.
salt, and it's coffee.
Oh, the cow. Okay. Yeah. Beef.
Meat butter, salt, and coffee. Okay. Yeah, this is a great question, Amanda. I'm not the expert on ED, so Lynn could probably jump in here, but some ways to get collagen into your diet would be bone broth. That's an excellent way to get some collagen in your diet. The best way to cook and eat beef shanks, I think Kerry has a recipe on his channel where Mimi Morgan actually made some for us when we went to film her for the documentary. And I think you recreated that, didn't you, Kerry?
I haven't recreated it, but I do have the original from Mimi about 2 years ago on my site. I think it was something like the best carnivore gravy or something like that. But she cooked them low and slow, and it was an incredible carnivore meal for sure.
Beef shanks are easy to cook the same way you cook your chuck roast. Kerry, that's the same recipe. Just drop them in the slow cooker. Check back in 8 hours.
Well, the way Mimi did it was like a science experiment almost. She was very particular about quite a few things. So I don't know if that's the best way or if putting it in a slow cooker is the best way. Honestly, I don't know. That's not my main go-to for food. It's mainly hamburger.
Right. Good way to get some collagen too on the beef shanks. What do you think, Lynn? Any other ideas on the ED?
Yeah, and I mean EDS, we need to clarify. So, so yes, and our
that's what he meant. Oh.
Yep, and our good friend Amy Haas is dealing with this personally and has had amazing benefits from Carnivore with EDS. And I know that she does focus on the bone broth a lot, and she gets bone broth with collagen. But I see Amanda does do butter and coffee, so there's also the option of making a buttered coffee latte without adding collagen powder. And so, but the meat itself has a lot of collagen in it. It sounds like, beef shanks, you're doing a good job. But if you want added collagen, you could definitely make yourself a latte, and then try to connect with Amy, because she's personally experiencing dealing with EDS on Carnivore and doing well.
Yeah, and I think, Amanda, you're in our Healing Humanity membership site. I think we've got a shared friend in there. So
yeah,
Amy's in there as well. So
yeah, tomorrow night she's leading a meetup or a hangout. So go look at the events tab and go to the Great Steak Escape Hangout and connect with her, and she can fill you in.
All right, we got an update from Ketone Fueled Violin Girl. I'm not seizure free yet, but at least frequency of seizures is much reduced. Awesome.
Wonderful.
Thomas says, I am glad to see Lynn and Ashley getting outside.
That's my new front yard.
Yeah, that's
deer.
not the mountains in Texas, but that's what I'm showing off.
All right, for Barb, I guess this is a comment, maybe a question. Found eating earlier in the day has really made a difference for me and my weight loss. I started Carnivore 225 and I'm down over 70 pounds and feel amazing. That is incredible. Good job.
Wow. Oh, congratulations.
225, they mean February of 2025, not this past.
Right.
Yeah, that's like 3 weeks that lost 70 pounds.
Whoa.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Barb,
and
do you
I'll
have
just,
Diet.
Barb,
Well,
do you have
and
any
I would-
thoughts on the time of day eating?
yeah, I will just say that lots of people do much better if they can move their eating window up, especially women. You can stop eating early to mid afternoon. That is really ideal. It's just hard to do socially, just depending on what your situation is. So I think that's great. And congratulations on 70 pounds. It's awesome.
All right, Ashley, what do you think of this one? What do you suggest for someone who gets sick when they eat too much steak or red meat and fat tallow?
Well, I haven't experienced it myself, but no, that's a tough one. And I guess it depends on what you mean by getting sick. Are you just like, is your body giving
what
you
are the
signs that
symptoms?
you're full?
I think Lynn might want to take this one.
Okay. Well, I'll kick it to Lynn in a second, but I was just going to say, I think it depends on how you're feeling, what you mean by getting sick. So if it's throwing up, a different situation. If it's just tummy illness, Lynn, you have the answer for that, apparently.
Well, I think Dr. Nelson was probably thinking that maybe the histamine might be an issue. But I agree with you, Ashley, that I'd want to know what the definition of sick is, because that means different things to different people. So are you feeling nauseated? Are you having an upset stomach? Are you getting constipated? Are you having joint pain? Did your sinuses, there's a lot that can fall under the umbrella of sick. Or are you, like you said, throwing up? So that can really affect how the answer is. But I do always want to at least make people aware that.
All right. So there's some more information that she's putting here.
Okay, perfect.
I've had a Roux-en-Y gastric bypass. It makes me nauseated and also extreme constipation.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. That's very helpful. So I would say you're going to have to modify it again. This is another time where if you knew Amy and can join in on the membership site, connect with her because that's her too. But you have to eat smaller, more frequent meals. It just like you do. It doesn't just turning carnivore doesn't change necessarily the eating pattern when you've had gastric bypass surgery. The same principles apply. You can also get dumping syndrome from eating too much fat. It's not just sugar. And
She had a
so
terrible indigestion as well, sometimes throwing up.
and
So-
and if you have a gallbladder that or don't have a gallbladder, that can affect it. And I would also be interested to know how long have you been eating carnivore. But easing into the fat can be really helpful. You may need to take bile acid. We've recently learned about Turca, which is apparently an amazing bile acid that can help you with digesting fat if your body is not used to it. There's also ox bile. And as far as the protein, you just may need to eat small amounts and more frequently, and then ease in with the fat. I know that with Amy, and I know this with Amy so well because her and I are good friends, she has to be careful with fat. And for her, she does use dairy. Not everybody can do dairy, but she does use dairy, and she finds she tolerates dairy fat better than she tolerates some of the other fats. I'd also be careful with rendered fat. And that's the liquid fat. And maybe if try cold butter or something that's not liquid form.
Good stuff. All right, we've got a question for Dr. Nelson. I've been carnivore for 4 months. What are your thoughts on BPC 157 for healing hip bursitis? My doctor is just recommending a cortisone shot.
BPC 157 is one of those novel peptides. Anyways, I'm not very familiar with it and its effects, so I really don't have an opinion.
All right. All right. Question for the panel. Any of you supplement with creatine?
I do not.
Three on, three off.
Mm-hmm.
I do not have.
Do you have any thoughts on creatine, Dr. Nelson?
I try to take it twice a day, and I use 15 milligrams either on my coffee. There are some studies that say coffee neutralizes the effect, but either my coffee or if I make my water with electrolytes, I mix it there. And I try to do that again in the evening. I think right now I didn't put any creatine. I started doing it when I had a concussion several months ago.
We recently had Dr. Jocelyn Foran on our membership site, and this was a supplement that she recommended, which I haven't heard a lot of other people talking about. She said there's a lot of, it's one of the few supplements they actually recommend for pregnant women. So there's a really good safety record with it, and apparently a lot of science and research coming out about the benefits of it. So
yeah, very
good. By the
way,
the best source of creatine is red meat. If you're eating,
I think
there's like 3 milligrams for every. I might be wrong on this. Every pound or every 2 pounds or something like that. So if you eat more than a pound, you're getting some creatine. But
right.
Some studies show that over 10 milligrams dose twice a day helps with cognition.
Just make sure you're getting the clean creatine, because it's just like everything else. There's some with some, you got to be a detective and look at those ingredients. All right. Let's see. The next question we have. Question or comment. Jennifer, stormy weather. It's taken a while to see body changes on carnivore, but the benefits I feel were amazing. I had to have a lot of healing to do.
That's awesome, Jennifer.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Excellent.
Ann Johnson says, Wisconsin Quick Trip Burgers. Take off the bun. So good. Thank you for that tip. I haven't tried those yet.
You haven't?
I have not.
Isn't it right across the street from the
It's
theater?
literally right across the street.
You're
Yeah,
going there 100 times a day, probably.
Wow.
I try to avoid that other than getting gas, because besides the burger, they have a hard-boiled egg and water in there, and 7,000 other things that are straight up drugs, in my opinion.
Well,
It's all donuts and cookies.
when we were there, Dave and I bought ribeyes there, and they were really good.
Yeah, they do have some meats and a couple steaks in there, ribeyes and
I
some
think we
strip
bought
steaks.
all of their ribeyes and had them go stock. We just cleared them out.
Give me all your ribeyes, please.
This is at a gas station?
Hmm. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
gas
right,
Oh, it's in the
right
middle of
across the
Montello.
right
Wow.
across the
It runs
theater.
for the whole town.
Okay.
All right, we've got Latricia. My husband has been eating this way for a while. I need help because I had a
This was
Rooney gastric
the-
bypass.
Ruin why?
answered earlier.
We got this already?
Yeah, this was a
Oh.
gastric.
Oh,
bypass.
okay.
Well, it's the same person, but not the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
comment.
We just got to the other question earlier.
Adam, your crazy uncle wants to know about cacao.
Sorry, it's funny the way you said that.
You're crazy. Uncle.
I have several crazy uncles. I just didn't know which one you were talking about.
Which one is it?
So what about cacao? I think it's delicious. It really just depends on what your health goals are. If you're okay with eating it and it doesn't affect whatever it is that you're trying to do in your health, then I'd say go for it. You do you,
Among other things, it's high in oxalates.
right?
Yeah. Be educated about the decision about eating it. And like Adam said, yeah, if you can tolerate it. But like Dr. Nelson said, it contains oxalates, which are harmful chemicals. So you have to learn about it and then decide.
RJ McKenna, ribeye, clear mind, more calm, and much happier after 1 month. 2 years in, I'm never stopping carnivore.
Wow. Amazing.
All right. Joyful Spirit. Where are we at? Barb or Lynn, any advice on how to introduce the carnivore diet to my breastfeeding toothless baby?
Toothless
She's
baby.
interested in what I am eating, but I worry about choking.
Well, having a little bit of a strip of bacon. I mean, I know a lot of the doctors will say get a bone and let them just chew on it. That's what people used to do, like a long time ago when we were. And this is maybe a good question for Dr. Nelson, but the kids used to teeth on bones and chew on the bones. And any other tips, Dr. Nelson?
So the first thing is, of course, nowadays the first meal is cereal, subgrain, right? Most pediatricians will recommend that. Just go back a few hundred, maybe a couple of thousand years, and what was the first food besides the breast that a baby had? It was probably what Lynn just said, start gnawing on the bone, a little bit of meat, maybe cut off to the size. Now,
Scrambled eggs, huh?
yes. And nowadays, used to be that, don't give eggs too early. Now they're recommending all these allergenic foods to be given early, by the way, pediatric patients. So it shouldn't be much of a problem. Now, ever since processors came about, you can make your own baby food instead of Gerber's little cans or jars. You make it with meat or whatever choice is for giving to your child.
Mm-hmm.
And start giving, I don't know how old it is, because
breastfeeding, no teeth yet. So
yeah, gotta be 6, no more than 8 months probably. So you don't want to give things that are too big, are too difficult, but start letting that bone near his mouth.
I have heard some parents also pureeing things up as well to start, and spoon feeding that way.
Yeah.
I don't think I grew up with any of those jar things. My mom used to make it, pureeing it, processing it,
Did they
breaking
have
it
glass
down.
back then?
I don't think.
Sorry, I had to.
I know, but I'll get you. I'm 66.
I
Okay.
know you will. I know you will. Well, I was trying to do it in my, Dr. Nelson-esque routine there. You know, how you hit on Dr. Nelson or Dr. Kiltz about his birth certificate.
Yeah, his birth certificate is number is 1. Happy birthday, Dr. Kiltz.
Happy birthday. All right. Question from Steven. On the sodium thing, I heard that Redmond's has extra metals in it. Can you confirm if this is correct? Are they bad metals? All right. We're going to make a lot of people mad with this one, but yes, there has been some third-party testing on Redmond's. In fact, I have a visual here. Let me see if this works.
Uh-oh.
There we go. I don't know if we can read that or not, but
Take the comment down.
yeah, let me take the comment down. I don't know if you can read that or not, but this is third-party testing on Redmond's real salt, and I think it shows 250 parts per billion lead, and then maybe 91 arsenic. So I'm actually working on a video on this as we speak, but a lot of people will look at some of those numbers and say, "Oh, that's not that big of a deal." But as Adam said earlier, you do you, I'll do me. For me in particular, it's more meaningful for me. Like some people say it's the dose that matters, but as a carnivore, I eat meat, drink water, and I do a lot of salt. So I'm having salt on every single meal. So it is important to me. It is important to me. And when you look into lead more, lead has like a half-life of 20 to 30 years, and it actually accumulates and stores in your bones. So the thought of that, even at a small dosage, I would rather just avoid if I could. But I would urge people to do more research if you're interested. It sounds like you're interested and you have some good questions. There's several studies out there. I think Paul Saladino did a big video last year on all the different salts and the heavy metal contents of each of those different types of salts. So that may be something to look into also.
Well, one of the questions was, are there bad metals? Yes, there are, especially if you're consuming them to excess. So some metals, they're called metalloestrogens. And some of the big ones that Carrie just brought up is lead and arsenic. They can both act as estrogen, mimic estrogen. They bind to estrogen receptors, and they can disrupt endocrine function. So yes, there definitely are bad metals that you do not want to consume. So that's important to us, which is why we try to go with a cleaner salt like Salty Provisions and the Salt or electrolyte salt.
Absolutely. All right, we have a women's health question for Dr. Nelson. Does strict carnivore help with older women's hormone decline? I am getting hormone replacement therapy on Monday.
So a carnivore diet, particularly high, not everybody that does carnivore does high fat. Some people are preaching even, high protein, low fat, even within carnivore. But that argument aside, a high fat diet, a carnivore diet, will help balance your hormones. It's not going to be equivalent to you using HRT. Hopefully, you're getting bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. If you're going to do it, that's a personal decision. If you're having symptoms like difficulty sleeping, fatigue, hot flashes, and all these things that you get with menopause, if you've decided to do it, hopefully it's bioidentical hormones. But a carnivore diet will help balance your hormones a lot better than if you're not.
Thank you, Dr. Nelson. All right, here's a question for the panel. Jennifer Stormy Weather, what meats does the panel mostly focus on? Do you eat all meats, and how often do you eat throughout the day? I'll go real quick here. I focus mostly on beef. I have a little bit of chicken or salmon from time to time. And currently I'm doing one meal a day, a big, huge, gigantic meal daily. What about you, Dr. Nelson?
Mostly beef. Occasionally have some salmon. I haven't had chicken for a while, but I would have it sometimes. But mostly beef is the main thing.
Adam?
Mainly hamburger, or mostly beef, but mainly hamburger as far as beef goes. But I will eat chicken, pork, ham, pepperoni, anything really meat wise.
Pizza.
Pizza. And then I've really been getting into tuna sashimi lately, and I'm going to start making that myself actually instead of buying it because it's kind of
Nice.
expensive. But it's absolutely delicious. And then how often do I eat? Eat twice a day. 6 to 9 eggs for breakfast around 1 o'clock, and around 4 or 5 o'clock I eat about 1.5 pounds of beef. So that's it for me.
Lynn?
Well, I eat twice a day, and I usually start the day with eggs, 5 or 6 eggs, sometimes bacon as well, and pretty much swimming in butter. I scramble them and swim them in butter, and then mostly beef. I do ribeyes, T-bones, ground beef, but I can actually eat a lot more now. So sometimes I also actually have some pork chops, occasionally some chicken, and love salmon.
Awesome. And Barb?
Very much like Lynn, I eat twice a day. First meal is usually several eggs and butter and some meat with that. And then second meal is usually beef or sometimes fish or sardines like today.
Nice. Ashley shaking his head.
Don't
Ashley,
eat
what do we got?
sardines. Don't eat sardines. I can start there. Mostly beef. I'm a beef guy. Ribeyes, tri-tip, picanha, which is in my fridge right now. You name it, beef, I eat it. Eggs, a lot of eggs, and I do pork, sometimes chicken. My wife loves chicken, so I'm cooking chicken a lot for her. So, but yeah.
What percentage of Ashley's food is smoked?
Oh, it depends on the week, I guess, but most of the time it's about 60% at least.
Nice. I just did a big brisket. You'd be proud of me. It was incredible. I'm still eating it right now. 15 pounds. All right.
I almost came up there.
Nice.
All right. Before we do the final drawing.
You're going to be jealous of me, though, because I just got my ad for brisket down here. If you're in the DFW area, I believe it's Tom Thumb has brisket on for $2.99 a pound. So
what?
Wow.
I thought I was doing good. I got mine for like $4.50.
Yeah.
Texas has got good deals.
Yeah.
I'll live there.
Right.
But I can't get fresh salmon, Lynn.
True.
Right. All right. Well, we're going to do the drawing for the 30-day free membership to healinghumanity.life in just a minute. But first, any big announcements? Anything coming up, Dr. Nelson?
Well, I'm glad you asked now because you didn't ask me earlier.
Uh-oh.
So before Midstock, we're gonna be at Midstock, Dr. Kills and I, but I have 4 events before Midstock, and tomorrow in Melbourne with Old Guy Carnivore, Mike Selly, and me, we're gonna be. If you want to find out about these events, go to Kills Meetup, no S, killsmeetup.com, and we have them all there. Melbourne tomorrow. The cholesterol code screening on April 6th with Dr. Ovadia, Dr. Boss, Dr. Kills, Dr. Nelson, hosted by Susie Boshoff. Saturday, April 11th in Long Island with Christopher Brandling. And the next day, April the 12th, spend a day with Lois Lotito and Dr. Nelson at a Mets game and then a Korean barbecue dinner, including a steak t-shirt everything, all the information is at meetup.com. And then after that, meat stock.
I love it. I just posted a link for kiltsmeetup.com in the chat. Adam, anything new coming up?
Meat stock. That's it.
Meatstockconvention.com. What about you, Lynn?
Definitely going to Meatstock, and I'm finally in a house without construction every day. So I know I've been promising an update with the videos of our crazy house, and so hopefully next week I'll be able to get that up on my channel and show everybody where we moved into. But again, this is like,
are you done with the construction?
Well, we've had completely all the floors replaced. We've had a whole bunch of work, and so there's been a lot of banging and sawing going on. So I haven't been able to really have any sanity to do any, like, put together a video for my channel. But I've been filming and enjoying my front yard, which is amazing and full of ducks and geese and deer and all sorts of things. So I will be hopefully next week putting out a video.
Good stuff. And Barb, you've had some great interviews on your channel. Anything new coming up?
Tomorrow, Renee show. So everybody be watching for that.
That's a great story.
Awesome.
Yep.
Link in the description below for everyone's YouTube channel here. And Ashley, Carnivore Brothers, anything new?
Just one thing. That's all.
I put mine on, but it's in a box. I can't find it.
There we go.
They come in gray and black.
There it is.
We didn't recognize you there, Dr. Nelson. That's better. All right, we're going to do the drawing right now. 30-day membership, healinghumanity.life. Here we go. The winner of a Healing Humanity membership. And if you didn't win and we didn't get to your questions, we apologize. You can sign up, get 50% off your first month. Bride Biscuit. Adam, how can Bride Biscuit claim their prize?
Well, Carrie, Bride Biscuit can go to healinghumanity.movie/giveaway. Fill out the form, and Lynn will send you a code promptly. Congratulations.
Congratulations. All right. Well, thank you all for your wonderful questions and testimonies. We love to hear both of those. And thank you to the entire panel for answering all of the questions. We appreciate you all, and we'll see you guys on the next one. We do this every Thursday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. See you guys on the next one. Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Beep.